Step into the light where the wild ones roam, where the heart speaks loud, calling this place home. We break the rules, we paint the sky, ridiculously you, we were born to fly. Ooh, it's ridiculously you.
Hey everyone, I am Julie May. Welcome to the Ridiculously You podcast. Today's guest is a super powerful force in the world of personal transformation. She merges science with her background in nursing with mindset mastery to help people stop shrinking, start living. And her name is Lisa Manzo. She is, like I said, she's a nurse and she is an emotional intelligence strategist and an NLP practitioner who helps people understand their minds and their bodies. She is the founder of the Phoenix Mind, a coaching and education platform that teaches people how to regulate their emotions, process trauma, and it just results in clarity, self-worth, emotional resilience, like all the things you want to have. So if you've ever struggled with, things like being too loud or too much or too accommodating, or just aren't having like even the business success you're looking for, having that mind body approach, I think is super, super important. So welcome, Lisa. Yay.
Yay, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you. I follow you on social media and I just love your vibe and you the joy that you're bringing and the real talk that you put on your page.
Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. I'm a fan of yours too. So tell me a little bit more. You've been a nurse. How long have you been a nurse?
Oh, well, so when my marriage was, quick story, when my marriage was ending, teacher, nurse, I went and became a teacher, hated it, went back and became a nurse. So at 50, I became a nurse.
Wow, at age 50, you became a nurse. And so you've been doing that for a long time and knew, like when you're a nurse, you know a lot about the physical body. I've had lots of clients who are nurses. So what made you want to get into how the brain works and how that part connects?
Okay, so the why I got into how the brain works is because I was so depressed and I was drinking alcohol because I was so depressed, thinking, oh, it'll make me feel better because when I was younger, it used to make me feel better. So then I was like, I got to figure this out. And I stopped drinking and I'm like, why do I have these feelings and why do I feel this way? And then I went to a personal development seminar and that opened the door for me to learn how my mind works. And I was like, I was like a sponge. I wanted to learn everything. So I'm always learning about the mind and how it works because you never know it all.
For sure. So that depression thing, was it a one-time situation or is that coming out of your life a little bit more? I know for me personally, it's been one of those things that I'm like, I remember having it as a teenager. I remember having it in postpartum depression. I remember like it has been like one of those things that has kind of come in and out until I finally figured out how to exit it out the door for good. But it kind of was there a lot for me.
Well, for me, it was there a lot. It was there a lot because I was always told, and this is when I was 18, it was over 40 years ago. So the world was different back then. And when your parents told you something, you didn't really realize you had a choice. The information was not out there. So when my mother said something, I just accepted it. And I wanted to go away to college. That was my dream. And she crushed it. And that's when I feel like that because, all the things I ever wanted to do, she put a wall in front of me, because she wanted better for me, yet she didn't like my choices. And that's when the depression set in. And then it's been in and out for years. There would be times when I was still menstruating, my depression, I would have it for like I would be super sad for like 10 days during the month. Like I couldn't even talk to anybody. And finally somebody said to me, "You need help." And I heard them. And it took me until my 50s to get out of the depression because it took
Mm,
me until my 50s to allow myself to get help.
mm. And what did that help look like?
That help at that time is I had a job. I was really good at it because I'm an overachiever at work and I can't help myself. And what it looked like was my dad was dying. I was losing control of everything in my life. I was so sad and angry because here I am. I'm going to lose my best bud, you know? And my boss said to me, "You have to do something." And, but she said it with kindness, and I heard her. But I was at the point where I knew, like, I'm getting emotional now about talking about it, and that's okay because you need to know that you can heal from it. So when she said that to me, I had a self-reflection time. And so what that looked like for me was to get onto medication at that time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it needed to be because I didn't have any other tools at that point. And I went on that medication and oh my God, it took a few months to get me onto the right dose because those things you start low and you go up. But once I got there and I was feeling better, that gave me the ability to stop drinking because I was feeling better. And
Wow.
and I came from the generation, like in my 30s, I wanted to take, when I was in my 30s, the depression medication was all new.
Mm-hmm.
And there was such a stigma around taking it. And I got shamed into not taking it. So in my 50s, I finally surrendered and I did take it, and it was very helpful. I'm lucky enough that I'm on the other side of it now and I don't need it anymore. And it's beautiful.
Mm. So I do think that there is a big stigma and shame, especially I even think in the personal development community about, oh, well, you're still on the medications, or you're still like you're doing those, there's something wrong with that. And I want to definitely dispel that like right now. Go see your doctor, go do the things that are best for you. And nobody outside of you can know what's best for you, frankly. You can get advice and you can even with your doctor, you can get advice and you can get but you're the steward of your body. So let's take the shame and the stigma out of what the medications look like for each individual person for sure. But getting off of those can be difficult too. Like, tell me what that journey was like, because, I'm going to say right now, I do not recommend to anyone that you just go like, oh, I don't need medications anymore and just like yeet it out the door. I mean, there can be some pretty
So
severe consequences for that.
it's absolutely not just, oh, I'm going to stop today because I don't need it anymore. You need to wean yourself off of it. So I was really, really kind to myself, and I went even slower than the doctors had said.
Mm-hmm.
They say I don't, whatever it was, I did it twice as long. So if they said to take the pill every other day for 2 weeks, I did it for a month.
Yeah.
And then if they said, then go to every 3 days. If they said do that for two weeks, I did it for a month. Then I went to twice a week. And then I went to once a week. And I did it very slowly to be kind to my brain. And I had no side effects because I did it so slowly. And I did it twice as slow as the doctor said because I felt as though I wanted to be kind to my brain because
Yeah.
it was kind to me by helping me heal.
Yeah. But like what was the point at which you said, I think I could be done with these? What other things had you done to heal yourself at that point where you were like, okay, I think I can do this on my own now.
Right. So we have to heal our inner child, all the things that the inner child that made us feel the way we felt. Like I could give you a couple of examples. I have this memory from when I was 3 years old and the bell rang and my dad pushed me out of the way to go answer the bell. He didn't push me, like, a gentle little nudge out of the way so you could get around somebody, and I'm 3 years old, so I'm this little person. And I have this distinct memory of that. And that I got pushed aside. And I'm like, and so when else was I getting pushed aside? And then here's a better one. I was terrified of my grandmother, right? All 4'10" of her. All 4'10" of her. She spoke broken English because she was from Italy. So we didn't really communicate very well. But my cousin Tony sent me this video of my grandmother. And I was standing in front of her, and she did the same thing to me. And she just pushed me out of the way. And I'm like, wow, I need to heal that because I got pushed aside twice by two really important people in my life. And now I got to go and heal that little 3-year-old, in both of those instances to let her know that she was valuable and wasn't supposed to be pushed aside and that she has worth. And it's going back and healing that younger version of yourself because your mind can't tell time.
Yeah, for sure. Your mind is like, it thinks it's happening right now. Like all of those things and all those experiences, when you have your subconscious and it is like in there and it takes that memory and it goes, this is, you're getting pushed aside. That's what's happening. Important people push you aside, and it creates that belief when you're like 3 years old. All of a sudden, you're in your 50s or your 40s, and your subconscious is like, nope, that's what's happening right now. It is right now. And your subconscious doesn't know time at all. So, Lisa, can you share a little bit about your expertise in that area? Like, what's actually happening with the brain, and how can you, like, we talk about healing through those things, or you need to get over it, or you need to process it. People use different words for that, but like, what does that actually look like?
So first of all, you want to ask yourself, what did I need in that moment? Okay, what did I need in that moment? Was it for somebody to take me with them? Was it for somebody to give me a hug and say, I'll be right back? What did I need at that moment? And what it looks like is because a few minutes ago, you saw me get upset when I was telling a story because all the emotions are coming back up, right? So then I need to go back in time and look in my mind's eye of what's happening. And I need to give that inner child whatever I needed at that time. And it's a matter of asking yourself, what did I need? So for me, I needed not to be pushed aside. I need to be either picked up and moved or picked up and given a hug or taken me with it, whatever I want. I can ask for whatever I want because it's my imagination now. So in my mind, I got picked up and taken with them because I'm that valuable and they don't want to go without me.
Mm. So what happens? So we do that, right? We connect back into that scenario and we go, what did I need? And we play through it in our mind as if that's what happens. What's actually happening in our brain when we do that? Can it rewire it? Does it make a new path? Like what happens with the old memory? Tell us a little bit more about that.
So we only have so much real estate in our brain, and I read this in a book by Dawson Church. He talks about we only have so much it's neuroplasticity. We only have so many roads up there, and when we stop using the old ones, they get dismantled. And from personal experience, I can tell you that's true because I used to have so many negative thoughts and so many depressing thoughts, and they're gone now because I worked on it. Big thing that you can do is like, what would be a better thought?
Mm.
What would be a better thought in any situation? Like here, something came up for me yesterday. I was getting super frustrated with some technological issues, right? And then I asked somebody to help me. And then the person finally, we're going back and forth, and she doesn't really want to help me. And then and then I'm reading the text. Oh, she doesn't know how to do it either. That's the challenge. Right. And I'm like, okay, two heads are better than one. Let's get on the Zoom call and let's figure it out together.
Mm.
So that's what that looks like for me. Like, I know. So I told myself a different story. Okay, she doesn't know how to do it either. Let's figure it out together. That's a much better story than she doesn't want to help me, right?
Yeah, for sure. That is a much better story than she doesn't want to help me. Those negative thoughts are interesting. A lot of people have different ways of dealing with them. One of the things I do, it comes from Byron Shelley's like The Work. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but I ask like, is this true? Is this absolutely true without a shadow of a doubt? Like you can prove this, that is an actual fact that it's true. And when it starts to like break down that it's not, then you can find real truth underneath, and that helps me rewire some of my brain, and then you can get to like what's a helpful thought and what would actually serve me in this moment, right? But like let's say you're working with a client, let's get to what kind of clients you actually work with and then what it would look like for them.
So I work with people that are just so stuck in their old beliefs of life is happening to me instead of for me, because that's who I used to be. So I help those people because I used to be the victim and everybody was against me and life was out to get me. And I can laugh about it now because I've grown and I know that that's not what it is. And I'll help those people. And I will tell you, the first question I ask them is, are you ready? Because I took on, and I learned this from a client. I took on this client. She paid me. I did my job. And on the last day, on the last session, after we were done, I said, may I ask you a question? And she said, yes. And I said, did you pay me money because you wanted to say you were doing it? Or did you pay me money because you wanted to heal?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I paid you money because I could, and that's why I could say that I was doing something and I felt better. I said, so you weren't really ready to change? And she goes, no. And that was key for me because that's like I want to see people get transformation, right? So if you're not ready, I can't help you. And I want to help you. So that's the question I ask. Are you ready? It's important.
What do you think signs that somebody's ready could look like?
Well, they've just tired of the same old thing and they're ready to try something new. If they've opened the door to saying, okay, my way's not working, there has to be another way. And they've opened that door because they finally surrendered to the fact that they need help and they're willing to go and ask for it. Asking for help is huge because you can't get help, right? Until you're willing to accept it.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And it is really interesting. I think one of the things that I'm looking for when I'm working with people too is like, are they willing to step out of this idea of victimhood? Like there are bad things that probably have happened to most people, right? But the moment they decide that they can take some of their power back, and even not all of it, even just like that they have a small amount of control over their life, that they have a small amount of power that they can start to want to take back, even the desire to do it. I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere with that. When it stops being everyone else's fault and they can start to go, maybe there's something I can do about it, then we're getting somewhere, right?
Absolutely, because we're the common denominator in our lives, right?
Mm-hmm. We definitely are. So I'm going to get in, and are you ready for a very quick lightning round so our audience can get to know Lisa as a person?
Sure.
Okay. What is one moment that you were proud about being loud? Loud is one of the things that we've talked about in the past that you're like, I'm loud, and we have this thing in connection with each other. What's one moment that you were like, I'm so proud that I'm a loud person?
I'm proud at work that I'm a loud person because you need it as a nurse. Sometimes you need to be loud. So sometimes
Mm.
only people, some people can only hear you when you're loud. But I found that me being me and authentic attracts more people to me. So I don't need to dim my light or talk softly for you because if I do, and I have a friend that likes to shush me, and the last time I spoke to him, I'm like, stop shushing me or go find another friend.
Okay, that brings me to my next one. What's a recent boundary that you set that felt like a big win?
Um, I set a boundary because a patient was being abusive towards another nurse, and he was accusing her of being the reason he got kicked out of the facility last time, which is totally ridiculous because nurses don't make that decision.
Yeah.
Right. And he was just really abusing her. And so my age does a couple of things for me. So somebody younger than me, it's inbred in our society to respect your elders for the most part. Not everybody, but for the most part. So I could step in front of her and help her because of my age.
So what was the boundary you set? What did you say?
That you can't talk to the nurses like that because if he's going to talk to her like that, he's going to talk to me like that, and that's totally unacceptable. I was
Love
like,
that.
we're here to help you. We're not here to get abused or at you.
Absolutely. What's a favorite song that feels like it energizes you?
This is me.
Oh, I love that one too. Okay, that's such a good one. What's a non-negotiable self-care ritual that you have?
Meditation every day,
Every day. When do you do it?
morning and night. Book.
Morning and night. Love that bookend. Cool. Last one in our lightning round. What makes you ridiculously you?
I'm like a big kid and I like to have fun and I like to joke around very nicely. I don't do any pranks and I'm not a prankster because I think they're malicious, but I like to have fun and do things so that others have fun. And I'll send somebody a present just because they said something, they like something, or oh, like somebody said to me, I have this little fork and knife set. It comes in a plastic container because we never have, I don't want to walk to the front, so I have it in my hand. When somebody said they liked it, so I bought them one.
Mm.
Like if you say you like something and I have an extra one, oh, here you go, you can have it. It's like, I'm happy. And then sometimes I buy things in the store and I'm like, I wonder who this is for because I know it's not for me. And then I'll find out who it's for and I'll give it away.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. If you had one message for our audience today, what would your one message be?
My message is to be kind to yourself on your journey and stop beating yourself up. Progress is progress. You'll get there.
What does being kind to yourself look like?
So being kind to myself is, okay, this is taking me longer than I wanted it to, yet it's still happening. So congratulate yourself for doing it. And I can give you an exact example. When I made my first set of videos for my website about emotional intelligence, and let me tell you, it took me 3 months to do it, way longer than it needed to, and I got it done. So when I got it done, and I had help from you too, Julie, you helped me with that. I had help. And once I got through it, even though it took me 3 months, which should have taken me a week to do it, I was just so proud that I got it done. And I went through all the feelings that I was having, the anxiety, that I'm not good enough, all that stuff came up for me in that time. And I'm like, if somebody needs to hear this just the way I'm saying it, I'm going to do it.
Hmm. So if there's somebody out there that's having some depression and having a lot of negative thoughts about themselves, what do you think could be something that could help, like, just start triggering their brain to start going the right direction? They're having depression, their brain is swirling in, and they think it's true at the moment. They think they suck. They think everything is going bad for them. They think everything is happening to them. If you could give them like one piece of advice to help start getting up and out, what would it be?
And my piece of advice would be to write a list of what would be a better thought. And if you can't figure it out, don't worry, ask your friends because they'll have plenty of suggestions for you.
Okay. So ask your friends, and what would be a better thought? One of the biggest things I tell people too is like, get out and change your environment. If you can get out and be in nature for a minute and do just some good connection there and get back to center, when you can just like touch the things around you and connect with your body and yourself again, it helps you come up with those, like, what are the next better thoughts? Because sometimes they're swirling. So it's like almost like an out of body experience. Have you ever worked with somebody where it's like they're an out of body experience? They're clear over there. And it's like, how about you come back to yourself for a minute and feel what's real for a minute? Because feeling what's real helps them get to, okay, what would be a better thought? What would be something that would serve me a little bit better? Because sometimes they're so like, it's like an ethereal, weird thing. I'm sure anyone who's had depression understands that it can feel like a little bit of an out of body experience. So,
Oh, absolutely. It's like you're an observer in your own life.
mhm. It totally is. It is exactly like that. So if somebody is out there and they are looking for some more help and they're like, okay, I am ready for some next steps. I'm ready to do the things, but I need some help. Where can people find you so that they can get a little bit extra help?
So they can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and also on my website, thephoenixmind.com, lisamanzo.us.com. And if you want to email me, it's hello@lisamanzo.us.
Fantastic. Of those, what's the best place to catch you?
Facebook Messenger.
Facebook Messenger. So find Lisa Manzo on Facebook, do a little Facebook messagey thing, and you can connect with her to get more help and more direction on what that next page could look like for you. So Emotional intelligence isn't just about depression. It can help you in your corporate life. It can help you in sales. It can help you in basically everything you do. And like understanding how to go back and retrain that like inner child brain is so helpful for like just being the kind of person you want to be on earth, like going out and being happy and being ridiculously you. So thank you so much for coming today. And you're teaching us that valuing yourself isn't selfish, and to get the help you need, and that could be you. And that is amazing. So thank you for showing us all of that today and for being with us. Give Lisa, thank you for being here in the comments. And with that, we are going to say goodbye. I am your host, Julie May, and this has been the Ridiculously You podcast.
Share the spark, take it higher, hit subscribe, bring a friend, let the wildness never end. Tap in, stand true, this is your crew.